Good morning, everyone. Most of you know the routine, right? Do we need to go over it? If you have the bulletin, there's the yellow insert which we will be following. And happy Mother's Day, as we said earlier. It's beautiful. We're going to be talking about some ways that we can show love to our families. One of the most difficult places to show love is in the home among the people that you live with. And unfortunately, sometimes we show more love and grace to strangers than we do to the people we share a house with. And why is it? It's one of those strange characteristics of human nature. But why is it that we have uncontrolled anger when it comes to someone in our family, but then we control our anger when it's somebody that is at work who's upsetting us? Why is it that we can control our anger in one setting, but we can't control it in another? Now, I know that you are bothered like I am bothered by the fact that sometimes we make the meanest comments to the people that we love the most. So we can appreciate what David said in Psalm 101 and verse 2. This is the Living Bible. You'll like this. I will try to walk a blameless path, but how I need your help, especially in my own home, where I long to act as I should. Would anyone like to say amen? Amen. So what we're going to do is take a little quiz to evaluate our state of love. And the title of this quiz is, how much do you love your family? Yes, it's a little bit humorous in places, but underlying the humor, there are some principles for us to think about. Number one, when you see your brother or sister crying, what do you do? A, ignore them. B, attempt to comfort them. C, think to myself, I should do something, then just walk away. Okay, a few of you are shaking your heads on C. Number two, your family is going to the park. Do you go? A, yes, of course. B, no, I have better things to do. C, I would like to go, but I really want to stay at home and chat with my friends. I see my family enough. Number three, your mom asks you to generally clean up the house before she gets home from work. Do you listen? A, yes. B, only if she promises to reward me later with something I want. C, no, I don't clean houses, I just live in one. C, we're going with C on that one. You don't clean houses. Is that in the contract? 4, you find out your dad is in the hospital. How do you react? A, go to see him and ask, are you okay? B, assume he just hurt himself at work. It's nothing serious. C, sarcastically say, what did Dad ever do for me? 5, your sister wants to show you the picture of her boyfriend, which you've seen many times before. How do you respond? A, I would love to see his picture. B, maybe later, I'm busy now. C, get his picture out of my face. You've showed it to me before. 6, your mom wants to take you shopping with her. How do you react? A, yes, I would love to spend time with you. B, no, that's too embarrassing. C, I'd love to go as long as it's a location where my friends won't see me. So it all depends on where we're going. There is There's one chapter in the Bible that has become famous because of love. And it defines love in 15 characteristics or 15 short definitions. And that's 1 Corinthians 13. Now, we do not have time to cover all 15 characteristics of love, but we are going to look at 4. But here's what we need to know up front. Real love is very different from the fake love that you hear about in songs. Fake love is mostly about getting. Biblical love is about giving. And unless you are working to apply these 15 principles of love, then you really don't love that person. So this is 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 8. Let me tell you what I did. I took the New Living Translation and the New International Translation, I brought them together, and I listed these 15 characteristics of love, 1 through 15. I numbered them for us, so you can follow along with me. Number 1, love is patient. Love is patient. You know what patience means in its root form? Doesn't overheat quickly. You want to know what patience is? You don't overheat quickly. 2, love is kind. 3, love does not envy. 4, love is not boastful or proud. I cannot be full of pride, full of myself and love at the same time. 5, love is not rude. 6, love is not self-seeking. Self-seeking. What that means, love is not me first. Now today, many songs that are called love songs that are trying to pass as love songs are really nothing more than lust songs. Because love is about giving and lust is about taking. So these are the titles of a few of the songs that are popular today, and I had to be very careful with this because there were so many songs, the titles and the lyrics were not appropriate for Sunday morning, so it was a real challenge just to find some that I could even use for an example. But these are some titles that are masquerading as love songs. Skin. Well, that's the name of the song. Skin by Rihanna. Birthday Sex by, I guess it's pronounced Jeremiah, but it's not spelled like the guy in the Bible. Sex Me by R. Kelly. Slow Motion by Trey Songz. Sex, that's the name of the song, just Sex, by Genuine, or Genuine, looks like it's a play on the word genuine. Cater to You by Destiny's Child. Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding. Now the title isn't so bad, but you get into the lyrics and it's unbelievable. Touch My Body by Mariah. Wait, hold it on this. Young people are going to laugh at me. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey. Okay. All right, get the laugh out and get done with it. I know this is tense for all of us. You're going to get through it. Hold on to your faith. Y'all seem to be in worse shape about it than I do. Dance for You by Beyonce. Bed, just Bed by Jay Holiday. And Drunk in Love by Beyonce. This is just a sample of songs masquerading as love songs. So, number 6, love is not self-seeking. It's not me first. It's not all this about what I want. Number 7, love is not irritable or easily angered. That means love is not out of control angry. 8, love keeps no record of wrongs. 9, love does not delight in evil. 10, love rejoices with the truth. You don't manipulate people you love. 11, love is always supportive. How can I help? 12, love always trusts. 13, love is always hopeful. It wishes for the best in people, even the people you don't care for. 14, love always perseveres and never gives up. 15, love never fails or ends. So those are 15 characteristics of love. Out of these 15, we're going to take a look at 4 ways that we can show love to our families this Mother's Day. Number 1, love is demonstrated by overlooking irritations and offenses. Love is demonstrated by overlooking irritations and offenses. This is 1 Corinthians 13:5. Love is not irritable or easily angered. Now the word overlooking means there are some irritations and offenses that you have to ignore, because if you don't, the anger is going to simmer just below the surface and you're going to be like a pot on the stove about to boil over. Now, in my opinion, I believe anger is the most misunderstood human emotion, and it is the most mismanaged. Now, there are 2 kinds or 2 types of anger. One is legitimate and one isn't. There is unselfish anger, where we are angry at the injustice and sin in the world. That is okay because it's based on love. The Bible says Jesus was angry. But then there is what is called selfish anger. Selfish anger is where I stay mad at you for hurting my pride. And I allow that anger to turn into something much worse, resentment and bitterness. Now, it is okay for us to be angry at the bad things that we see in the world and the bad things in our lives. It is not okay for us to have uncontrolled, explosive anger that turns into bitterness and causes us to say, I'm going to hate this person from now on, no matter what. I'm going to hate this group of people, no matter what. We cannot have that kind of anger. In Proverbs 17:9, it says, love forgets mistakes. Nagging about them parts the best of friends. Yeah, a lot of friends have parted over nagging. This is Proverbs 19, verse 11. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense. Overlooking an offense or an irritation shows your maturity. People who are offended by everything are immature, and they need to grow up because they're never going to be happy. Somebody is always offending them. Now, when you're upset, you ask yourself 3 questions. Now, I'm not saying you pull out your phone with a list, although you could. You could, but you can have these in the back of your mind. Number 1 is, why am I angry? There have been times that I've been angry, and then I stepped back and I couldn't figure out exactly why I was angry. Number 2, what do I legitimately want out of this relationship? Is it just I want to win this argument today? And number 3, how can I get it? You're never going to accomplish anything positive or get something positive when there is out of control, explosive anger. Now this is 1 Thessalonians 5:15. You're going to love this in the Message paraphrase. Tell me if any of this you can identify with. Be careful that when you get on each other's nerves, you don't snap at each other. Does any of that sound familiar? You know what that reminds me of? A snapping turtle. Look for the best in each other and always do your best to bring it out. If we would practice the principle of that passage, some of our relationships would be better and we would be happier even when things don't always go the way that we want them to. And so number one, love is demonstrated by being ready to overlook some irritations and some offenses. Number two, love is demonstrated by being kind when kindness is not deserved but needed. Now, I've had dozens of lessons with the word kindness in it. Be kind to your spouse. Be kind to animals. We've had all kinds of points, but this is a little different. This is saying that we have to be ready to show kindness when the kindness is not necessarily deserved, but it's needed. Listen, it's easy to show kindness when it's deserved. Your neighbor saves your children from a house fire. You don't have any problem giving them one of those $100 Amazon gift certificates to your neighbor who saved your children from the burning fire. Your children are worth at least $100. They deserve it. That was easy. That was easy. That was the easiest thing in all the world to do, right? Everybody has an extended family that consists of a few rude, immature, difficult, demanding people who always want their way. I said extended family. I did not want to say your immediate family because we don't want fights to break out here. Right? All of a sudden people start. This is 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 and 7. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is always supportive. Are you always supportive of people's best interest? Now listen to me. Even when they don't deserve it. I know I lost just a few of you on that latter part of that phrase. If you want to be more patient with someone, the way that you do it is you learn more about what makes them tick. Because when you learn about their pain and their hurt and where they're coming from, you are going to be more patient with them. There have been times when I want to judge somebody, but I want to judge them based on my own standard, which I don't even live up to myself. Because I hold you to a 9. Do you know what I hold myself to? A 2.5. Right? But when I learn where a person is coming from, maybe there's some behavior or something I don't like, but then you learn about their background and the obstacles that they've had to overcome. All of a sudden I'm thinking, well, I can be more patient with this person. In fact, I'm amazed that they have come this far. So you have to look past their pain and anger and cut them some slack. Now this is Proverbs 3:27, and I chose the New Century Version because of the way that it ends. It says, whenever you are able, do good to people who need help. Who need help. Does it say do good to people who deserve your help? No, who need help. Oh, and by the way, you've been looking at these outlines for many years. Did you know that when I underline something, I'm emphasizing something? Oh, okay, all right. So there's something that I really want us to see in this passage, and it's those last 3 words, who need help. They may not deserve your help, but they need your help, and this is particularly true when it comes to your family because there are family members who have made some choices that were not good choices. They may have made some choices about alcohol that were not good choices. They may have made some choices about illicit drugs that were not good choices. They may have made some choices about morality which were not good choices. Do they really deserve your care and concern? Perhaps on one level, no. But do they need it? Yes. One of the most famous stories in the Bible, Luke 10, the story of the Good Samaritan. The guy was lying on the side of the road injured, and of course the priest and the Levite representing the religious people of Israel walked by him. But when the Good Samaritan walked up to the injured guy, did he look at him and say, "Hey buddy, do you deserve my help?" And it could have been his own fault that he was in the ditch. He may have been a real dumb guy. Because that 17-mile stretch from Jerusalem to Jericho, do you know what history called it? The Trail of Robbers. It was called the Highway of Thieves. You don't walk it alone, you crazy person. You get beat up, you may have had it coming. But we don't know what his circumstances were. And the Good Samaritan didn't ask him, "Do you deserve it?" He said, "I'm here to help you." This is Proverbs 19:22. This is the Living Bible paraphrase, just to give us a little different reading. We've been reading it in the New International, New King James Version all of our lives. Kindness makes a person attractive. So I want to say a sentence, but I'm speaking figuratively. Forget the Botox and go for the kindness. It's not the Botox, I'm speaking figuratively. It's not the Botox that makes you look good. It's the kindness that is attractive. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:15. Don't be hateful to people just because they are hateful to you. This kind of sounds like the old golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Rather be good to each other and to everyone else. So number 2, love is demonstrated by being kind when kindness is not deserved but needed, and we certainly see this in our immediate families and extended families. Number 3, love is demonstrated by releasing past hurts. Releasing past hurts. 1 Corinthians 13:5 says, "Love keeps no record of wrongs." Oh, wow. Okay. Let me ask you, and you don't have to answer this verbally because it would get a lot of you into trouble and we would have a big crowd up here during the invitation. But do you keep a mental scorebook to use when you are in an argument? You have that list of 5 things that you've been holding. You've got them. You want to argue with me? I've got the list. Because I know the 5 stupid things you've done. Now, I've used 2 or 3 of them, but I got a couple that you haven't thought about in a few years. Yeah, doesn't keep record. Here's, for those of you who are computer savvy, don't repeat it, delete it. Okay. In 1 Corinthians 13:5, now look at this passage. It says, "Love is never rude. Love does not demand its own way. It is not irritable or touchy. It does not hold grudges." Now I chose the Living Bible paraphrase because, now listen, we believe the 66 books of the Bible are authoritative and inspired. And certainly 1 Corinthians, God was speaking through Paul, and Paul was writing as God was speaking to him. Of course, it was being filtered through Paul's personality. But 1 Corinthians is the Word of God. And why I'm saying that is for this. It is no accident that rudeness and holding a grudge are in the same verse. I'm telling you, it is not an accident. It's the inspiration of the Holy Spirit. And I'm going to tell you why. People who are rude, that is consistently rude and known for their rudeness, are usually reacting to past hurts. And because they can't move beyond them, the hurts have turned into grudges. So we need to remember when someone is rude, it could be that they're holding a grudge because they're being held hostage by something in their past. And it's not always the person's fault. It's not some child's fault that they were sexually abused. This is just a kid. Kid doesn't do anything wrong. It's just a kid. And now they have to deal with this the rest of their lives. So sometimes when there's some characteristic on the surface, we have to be careful about making an immediate judgment and understand that there could be some underlying issues. So love is demonstrated by releasing past hurts. 4, love is demonstrated by believing God is working in the lives of other people. Love is demonstrated by believing God is working in the lives of other people. It's okay to believe God is working in your family and even in the world in ways that we can't see or measure. And in the classic passage, Romans 8:28, God's working all things together for good. It does not say we're always going to immediately see it. But we have to believe it. Just like, we talked about this in the class this morning, just like Noah had to believe that rain was coming even though he had never seen rain before. And he had to wait 120 years for it. So in 1 Corinthians 13:7, it says, love always trusts. Hey, now look at me. Not other people. God. Trust with people has to be earned, right? It has to be earned and it has to be maintained. So you're not going to trust just everybody automatically. But we're always going to trust God and the principles of His Word. So love always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. So here's a question. How do you know if you are really trusting God for your family, for your marriage, for your career? Well, take a look at how much you pray about it. If you are not praying about those things, then you are not trusting God for those things. And when there's events in your life that don't always go the way that you want them to go or you would have planned for them to go, you can't give up hope. You can't give up your faith in God. We have to be like Jeremiah. Jeremiah, who, guess what? He wrote the book called what? Jeremiah. But he also wrote a 5-chapter companion volume called Lamentations. And you know what Lamentations is? A lament. And in it, Jeremiah is sitting on the ruins of what was once the beautiful city of Jerusalem. And nobody ever loved their city more than the Jews loved Jerusalem, and now it's ruined, and he's saying, hey, I thought we were the covenant people of God. I thought we were the people who were going to be the showcase of your grace throughout the world, and here we are on the smoking ruins of what was once our beautiful city. So this is what he said. This is great for all of us. For I can never forget these awful years. There be some awful years that you're never going to forget. As I grieve over my loss. Watch this. Watch this. Yet I still dare to hope when I remember this. I love that. Dare to hope. The faithful love of the Lord never ends. His mercies never cease. Great is His faithfulness. His loving kindness begins afresh every day. So I want to say a word to the husbands. But all of you can listen. This is for the husbands. And before I say this, I want to let you know that I actually have some research. Those are my notes down at the bottom. And the statistics I'm about to give you are not just statistics that have been taken from somewhere randomly, or this is something that somebody just came up with or feels. These statistics are from Dr. Harry Fish, MD, urologist who did research in this area. and also the Henry J. Kaiser Foundation. Husbands, here is the best gift that you can give your wife. Now, I want you to think this through before you make a judgment on whether this was worth listening to. This is the best thing for your wife. The gift, best gift you can give your wife. Stay healthy. And don't die prematurely and leave your wife alone for the next 25 years. Men generally do not take as good of care of themselves as women. Women on average live 5 years longer than men. In some states, 10 years longer. And the worst states for men taking care of themselves, you want me to start? I'll name them for you. Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas. In Arkansas, 74% of the men are overweight. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, I know I'm preaching this to myself. One of the reasons why I'm doing this, I need it as much as anyone does. And I'm not up here to beat around the bush on that. But this overweight business can lead to strokes early. It can lead to diabetes, or it can contribute to diabetes. So don't leave your wife alone. Woman who has loved you for all of these years. Oh, by the way, you know what the healthiest state is? You ready for this? Colorado. Colorado's according to this. What did you think about that? Kind of as a gift. Well, none of you guys put your hands up because you want to do the work. Well, you just think about it and pray about it. And you'll get stronger and you'll come to see the light like I've seen the light. It may just take some of you a little longer. So I have a prayer, and I like to end with this prayer. You said you like these prayers at the end of the outline. I'm pretty sure this is at the end of the outline. Let me check and see. I'm pretty sure that it is. Okay. So I just want to share this prayer with you. And then Stephen is going to come up and lead us in an invitation hymn. If you have a particular need, putting Christ on in baptism, or we can help you in some way, we want to assist you. Father, I need your love and mercy. I can't be deeply loving and merciful toward others in my own power. I need your power in me. I'm grateful you forgive me all my offenses by your mercy so I can be more forgiving toward others. You are kind to me when I don't deserve kindness. You are gracious to me when I don't deserve grace. I want to accept the principles of your word as the guiding light of my life. I know you have been working in my life even when I didn't know it. I want to learn to love and trust you more and be a loving person. In Jesus' name, amen. We're going to have an invitation hymn. Let us know if you have a need while we stand and sing. Christ.